Well, I got it by Joe. This is what your security screen is going to look like so far. See, you've got a nice little reveal gap at the top and along the side. And see at the bottom, I hardly have any gap at all because there's this ramp is here. Now granted, that's about 5/16 of an inch. We went to the store. We were at the store. We went ahead and got a little weather stripping piece. It's got a notch in it here in the back. And then you could install that at the bottom if you had a bigger gap. Now see, I think we're going to choose not to put this on. And I measured this before. And we got about 5/16 of an inch. And I measured on the back side of this and it's about 1/8. So I'd have about 3/8 or 3/16 of rubber. See, I could put that right down there. It comes with self-tapper screws and you drive that right into here. Okay, so that's an option. But we're going to decide to leave that off. Now up above, you see there's a gap up there. And if you're really anxious about making sure that you don't have any sort of gap, because see, first off, we have a gap, but do you see up there at the top? Most of that gap is hitting the trim right here. When we close this door, the edge of that door is just almost flush with this edge, and as we close it from the inside, you can hardly see anything there. Now, if yours is different than that and you're seeing a big, huge gap there, what you could do is you could take the same weather stripping and you can flip it upside down, and you could put it up here at the top. You know, you may have to cut it back and notch it or something, and you would have it there with this weather stripping going up that way. You'd still have to cut some of the weather stripping off because you don't want the weather stripping to go any higher than this edge, maybe just below that edge or something. Or you could use that edge after you install it and then trim it off. You know, I'd probably cut it off before I would put it on. And they give you plenty overage on the side to continue it over to the left and the right if need be, or you can trim that, whatever. Okay? Well, there's another option for you. All about options for this weather stripping. Now, I want to show you what else she got. You see this here? Here's some weather stripping door and window, and this happens to be 3/8 by 1/2 inch by 10 feet long. Okay, and she got black and a sponge rubber weather stripping. This is a premium one, and there's not a whole lot of give there. There's a little bit. What we could do with that, and they have that in different thicknesses. Okay, I'm going to open this up here. Let's go ahead and close this door. Okay, you see that gap right there, right here. What we could do is we could open that up, and then between hinge, at the hinge point from there all the way up to the hinge right there, you could put a piece, then you could put another piece from there up and down here, and another little piece down at the bottom. I don't think you would just bridge over this because then it might make it too thick for this door as you're closing it, you know. Well, you're just wanting to kind of cover up that gap. If you're concerned about mosquitoes, flies, bugs crawling in. And so there, you can put weather stripping there. Now see here at the bottom, there's hardly anything there. So that's why we've decided not to do anything. And what you could do here is you would not put weather stripping on here. What you would do, if you needed to, you felt like it, this lip right here, you could put some thin weather stripping there. You'd have to measure this because you want it kind of thin. And they have different sizes at the store. See, that could be 5/16 or 3/8 wide. And then maybe you only want a 1/4 inch thick, because when you close this door, it's closing pretty snug. Once you get that on there, it might stick out just ever so slightly, so you could figure that out after you put your door knobs on or something and say, okay, I need a thickness of 5/16 and no wider than 3/8. Go to the store and see what they have. And then you could put some weather stripping on that if you so chose. Okay, what else? Is there anything else that you could do? Oh, absolutely. Not on this door, but on another one. Let me explain that. I think I already explained it to you once, but maybe you'll get a better idea now that this door has been installed. Now let's play devil's advocate here. Let's make the assumption that you do not have a ramp that goes up here like this. Let's just make believe that this goes straight down and you've got a step here, or you've got just concrete pad and you step up, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, whatever. And so you've got a gap there, and maybe your threshold doesn't stick out far enough. It only sticks out maybe to here, and you've got a slight gap there, and right underneath the door you've got a big gap that comes up and over. You're like, what am I going to do with that? How on earth am I going to fix that? Well, at the store they have a weather stripping kit, and it's a U-shaped, it's made out of tubing, and there's a piece that comes up this way and then all the way along the bottom and then up this way. And then what you would do, see this tube, this square tube here is hollow on the back side. So if you didn't have anything here, you could take that U-shaped thing and kind of fish it in and then lift it up and put it right up in here, and then you screw that in. Okay, then it's got a square tube that goes here, and then you would raise or lower this so it's about flush with your threshold. Then it comes with an L-shaped piece of threshold material, and that would set over the top of the square tubing, and then you'd have to notch it, and it would fit on top of your existing your existing threshold. Then you would screw it in through the front side, because there'd be a little L there. You'd screw it in there, and then you'd screw it on top of that, and then that picks up the bottom. And then in that same kit, they also give you a top weather stripping piece, kind of like I explained to you before, and you'd put that up there. So they have those kits at the store as well.